America First is inevitable. It's unstoppable.
Let's see. These super chatters suck lately. They suck. It reminds me, they were good for a little while, I think. But these remind me of like old school. This like, no, we should boycott stuff. This reminds me of how they used to be bad in like a different way. Rachie Mama says, I meant that it causes friction among women of different races, i.e. black women complaining we don't like their hair or their melanin. Well, the friction is over something else. I mean, there's a reason black women don't like white women. It's got nothing to do with, like, fashion advertisements. Modern monarchist is whoring around yoga. In other words, there's always going to be friction between women. Modern monarchist says, what's your stance on Puerto Rican whores? I don't know what that means. X360 No Scope says, was laughing so hard at the happy birthday super chat response yesterday. I had the mental image of you as a waiter dishing out all the balloon animals and party hats to super chatters. LOL. Very funny. That's a very funny thought. Yeah, that's hilarious. I had this funny thought, and I thought of you like handing out party favors to the guys and then like the super chatters. I had a funny thought. We were like the guy handing out balloon animal to the party. Oh yeah, did you? That's hilarious. Very funny mental image. Congratulations. Callum says, why did the Fed really get involved in the Civil War? I'm wondering why we're shilled the slave idea. The Fed? Are you talking about the Federal Reserve or the federal government? The Fed didn't exist during the Civil War. The Fed started in 1913. And why would the federal government get involved in the Civil War? Well, it's kind of a matter of import to the federal government that like all these states began to secede. I mean, maybe that's why. Why did the federal government get involved as the nation was dissolving? As the United States began to dissolve from each other, secede from one another. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, are you talking about the federal government or the Federal Reserve? The Federal Reserve didn't exist. And the federal government, well, I mean, it's quite obvious why they would intercede if a rival nation was forming from the ruins of, or from the constituent parts of the United States of America governed by the federal government. Buck Fuentes says, yesterday I watched the show with my cousin, who's a huge fan of yours and a DEA agent who's currently working on an MS-13 case. He laughed it off but got visibly heartbroken when you called feds scum-sucking leeches, along with every name in the book, LOL. Yeah, well, I'm so sorry. The feds are putting people on no-fly lists. They're throwing people in solitary confinement for trespassing. They're pouring through everybody's bank records, cell phones, everything like that. Yeah, but sorry if I offended your Fed friend. Look, I've always said there are good people everywhere. There's good people in all groups. There's good feds. Okay, they're out there, I'm sure. There are good DEA agents, okay? But we all know who I'm talking about. If your buddy is a good, or your cousin, if your cousin is a good DEA agent, are we really, the show has been around for 4 years. How far are we from Nagzalt? How far are we from not all X are like this? Do we really have to still explain this? No, but I wasn't talking about you. I mean, really, do we have to do that? So, I mean, yeah, sorry, I guess that you got offended watching the show, but yeah, we fucking hate feds. I hate feds. I hate feds. I hate them. And, when I see these stories where they when bad things happen to them, I laugh. I fucking laugh because I hate them. So, I'm sorry if that's offensive. Maybe your cousin's a real stand-up guy, but the feds are horrible people. They're terrorists. They're scum, and they're terrorists against the American people. And I hate them, and they're lower than worms. So, maybe your cousin's a really nice guy, but I think there's almost nobody worse. I think there's almost nobody worse, So, anyway, Yeah, your cousin's probably a nice guy, but we all know what I'm talking about. These people are terrorists. That's what they are. The feds and the government, they're a terror state. And they're a terror state against the American nation, against patriots, against good people. They use terrorist tactics. They're evil. And, there might be some good ones out there, but that's a real problem. And we don't like them on the show. No snitches, no feds. Not on this show. Tactical Nukes is so tired of seeing that pink-haired dyke Megan Rapinoe complaining about not making more money. Maybe we should let some buff trans guy in a dress beat the shit out of women in sports. Honestly, yeah, when you see Megan Rapinoe, it's like, maybe women's sports should not be protected. Maybe it's good that they remain unprotected. I'm actually the opposite of a TERF. I'm the opposite of a trans-exclusive feminist. I'm pro-trannies going after feminists. Unleash them. Unleash the trans mutants. Unleash the freaks. These towering 6-foot-something juiced up guys in wigs kicking girls' asses in sports and bullying them and humiliating them, detracting from their otherwise credible movement. I'm all for it now. I want Mike Tyson to play soccer with Megan Rapinoe in like a dress and just totally, plow right into her, knock her out, whatever. I mean, I'm in favor of it. Suddenly, I'm the opposite of a TERF. I want trannies to get involved in feminism. Ray Cheese says, based homeschool mom here. Let's be honest about the fact that it's unfair to make women of other races compete with American women of European descent in the sexual marketplace. This is why you see a huge movement to expel white women from fashion and beauty, and commercials only show mixed-race couples. Is that, you think, what it is? I mean, I guess. I don't know. Women are really taking themselves out of the game, to tell you the truth. I think the advertisements are really the least of your concerns. No offense, I mean, you're a stay-at-home mom, so you're already set. But as far as American white women go, I don't know if it's the advertisements that are doing them in. I don't think it's the fashion modeling agencies that are doing them in. You know what I think is doing them in? I think it's OnlyFans. And it's, the Call Me Daddy podcast, and it's, pink drinks from Starbucks, all that fucking sugar they're drinking, guzzling down their big fat gullets. I think it's that. They're all a bunch of big fat piggies. Disgusting big fat piggies guzzling sugar, sitting around on their phone, eating hot Cheetos and stuff. Yeah, big problem for me. Big problem for me. It's actually doing them a favor. If we saw more of them in TV, we would like them less. If we saw more of them, we would like them less. People idealize white women because we don't see them anymore. Think about the people that idealize white women. It's like people who don't leave the house. It's people that are extremely online, gamers, incels, MGTOW. The people idealizing white women are the people that don't ever see them. If we saw more of white women, we'd like them less. It's like, wait a minute, she's not like the girl in this meme in the sundress. She's not like that fed, Twitter account. She's a revolting slob. She's not anything like what I saw on Twitter. She's not like this busty Fortnite skin with a big ass who gets a golden scar. She's actually coarse and vulgar and a big piggy. So, I don't know. I'm going to push back a little bit on that one. I think it's doing them a favor, actually. The last thing we need is beautiful European women telling guys, like, you should be soft and cry more. It's doing us a favor that it's people like Kamala Harris saying this stuff. We're protecting them. We're protecting our white women. Keep them out of the advertisements. Protect them. They're too effective.